Scoop on the Road recruiting coverage is brought to you by our friends at Steamboat Dry Goods. Get all of your outdoor and travel needs at steamboatdrygoods.com. Use code ROADTRIP to get 20% off an order of $25 or more now. Link in the description box.
BuckeyeScoop.com here, Bradenton, Florida. Next Gen, the show. One of the top underclassmen here. We got Elijah Rushing. He's a 2024, we'll call him a jumbo athlete right now. Plays defensive end, plays tight end, playing outside linebacker here in 7-on-7. 6'5", 220. Couple early offers, Arizona State. You're out of Salpointe Catholic in Tucson, so you got the in-state programs. What has that been like, I guess, getting those first two in-state programs?
It's been a blessing, especially with coming from ASU, because they kind of came out of the blue with it, and then U of A came along. So it's just a blessing to have, and it just brought me to the point where I am now.
Yeah. Salpointe Catholic, familiar place to Ohio State fans. Lathan Ransom is out of there. They tried to get Bijan Robinson. Sorry for bringing up a sore subject for the Ohio State fans watching this.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of familiarity there. You've got a little bit of familiarity with Ohio State. You said you watched them a little bit. You know, what have you noticed out of the Buckeyes so far?
They breed great defensive line coming from the Bosa brothers and Chase Young, one of the number 2 draft pick coming out. So it's like it's a big school that I'd be looking at.
Yeah. You know, it's hard to maybe get there from Tucson, but is it some place you might try? You know, you've got a couple years here to figure this out. Would you try and get up there at some point, you know, maybe for a camp or a game or something?
If possible, yes.
You know, what are some other schools you watch on Saturdays? Like, you know, schools you follow, teams or players you like to look at, you know, anything like that?
Well, my dad has a background. He played for the Florida Gators. He was in Spurrier's first recruiting class. So Florida's another one that I like to look at just because of family ties. But besides that, just like the typical ones, Alabama, LSU.
Yep.
And I like to watch ASU from time to time.
Yep. Where have you been this summer? Did you get a chance to camp at some places or visit?
So I've been to the U of A prospect camp, and I got to go on 2 visits to ASU and University of Arizona. So that was really cool and fun.
Talk about, you know, we talked about this a little bit before the interview. You know, you're a big, versatile guy. It sounds like defensive end is kind of your preference right now. Is that true? And, you know, if that's where you're kind of trying to, you know, gravitate towards, you know, what is it about that position that you like playing so much versus maybe some of the other spots you could project to?
I just like I just like the strategy of it. It just, I just like to think. I just like to think a little bit.
Yeah.
And for me, I just like defense in general. Just defensive positions are something that I like to lean towards. But offensive isn't like cut off. I'd still do that too.
Is this kind of like the chess match maybe with the offensive lineman? You know, you go at it, you know, for 5-10 seconds, and then you got to regroup and do it again and adjust. And is that kind of what, you know, you're talking about there with just the mental part of it?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Just coming up with a plan and just reading how they move to set yourself up.
Yep. You know, you've done a really good job here. You had a pick 6, which I think is, you might be the biggest guy here with a pick 6 this weekend. Not a lot of big guys getting pick 6s in 7-on-7.
Right.
What's that been like? I guess just you're playing in space a lot. You know, you're not putting your hand in the dirt and getting after the quarterback. You're really having to move. How has that maybe helped you kind of, you know, get acclimated to dropping into coverage and just doing those things?
Well, I have previous history in just training for DB. Then I did some linebacker before I moved to my ultimate position, DN. But prior to this, I was practicing my coverage and just one-on-one.
So did you just kind of gradually outgrow positions to now where you're at defensive end? Is that kind of what happened, or?
I mean, I started off like Little League. I always did line.
Yeah.
I really liked playing DN. Then I started to move throughout positions, going tight end.
Gotcha.
Tight end, linebacker, and I just got to the point where I'm at.
Right. Big sophomore season coming up. You know, what are some of your goals, you know, for yourself, you know, that you've kind of set, and what are you working on right now that you can reach those goals?
Well, I'm just hoping that I get like at least a sack every game, and maybe, you know, a sack every game and 2 solo tackles.
And you know, as a player right now, strengths, weaknesses, how would you evaluate yourself at this point?
Well, I know that I bring to the table, I have a quick first step, and I'm just lengthy and I'm quick Wall Green, Howard, and all of that. So.
And then just, finally here, you're going to get some games, I'm sure, in the fall. Where's some places you'd like to go? I'm not saying you have anything scheduled yet, but some schools you'd like to get to for games in the fall if your schedule allows.
I definitely want to go to an Ohio State game, in Oregon too, but also the ones that are being looked at with ASU and U of A. Definitely those two. Those two are a must.
Yep. All right. Well, we appreciate your time, and let's see if we can get back from this rain delay and get a 7-on-7 championship here. But good luck here this season.
Thank you.